I am out here in line waiting for Kingdom Hearts 3 with all of these people. Not Kingdom Hearts 2.5, not 2.8, not 358 over 2 days. Kingdom Hearts 3 is happening. And I want off of Mr. Nomura's wild ride right after the next 72 hours pass. Okay, it is January 28th at 9:45 p.m. and I have Kingdom Hearts 3 Deluxe Edition. I have no idea what's in the Deluxe Edition. I got this cloth poster because I got a friend in GameStop now. I have no idea how to put one of these things up. Like, are these do you push pin them? I feel like that'd be destructive to it. Is this... It feels like a tablecloth, honestly. Yeah, this feels like something that I would eat off of, but it's a collectible, so you probably shouldn't eat off of them, right? It's not double-sided or anything. The back's just... bah. But we have been on this journey since, what, 2002, 2003, and here we are finally at the end of the path. Until next game, haha. Until we get the secret ending, haha. First, unboxing Kingdom Hearts 3. Should I have just been a pair of hands doing it? I feel like maybe the fingerless gloves would add a touch that you don't get from, like, the other hands-only unboxing videos where it's just a creepy person shelling candy for the internet. Japan got an adorable little rubberized phone strap / keychain of Sora that they could use that's in the World of Final Fantasy style. And we got, well, it's not bad, but it's not a cute little phone strap. That's arriving next month, February, because shipping time from Japan is long. So, the deluxe box consists of, oh, this brings back some 1.5 HD Remix nostalgia. I'm guessing this is an art book. Like, 9 times out of 10, when you see a little book like this, that's it. I learned this back when I got Persona 3 back in, what, 2009? Oh, good. We can't trust localizations anymore, so they just printed both the English and Japanese message in here for us to compare. Legends of Localization, please get on that. A timeline, because even Nomura can't keep these games straight anymore. Kidding, it's not actually that complicated. Key renders, which there's higher res versions on the internet already, whatever. More key renders. There better not be spoilers in here like there were for the Persona 4 art book. Oh, okay. I'll look at this after the game is over. A tin, or is this a steelbook? Yes, it is a steelbook case. I've never owned a steelbook case before, okay? But if there was a franchise that I would own one for, it would probably be this one, because Tetsuya Nomura does in fact own my soul by now. And of course, the game itself, Kingdom Hearts 3, recalling that wonderful original Kingdom Hearts artwork with the weird gargoyle and the very ambiguous, like, early 2000s sort of desert palace / hollow bastion aesthetic. If you remember the desert palace, you are a true Final Fantasy fan. That thing was really difficult the first time you play, when you don't really know how the mechanics work, and then you figure out, oh, just get rid of all the bloodstones, and it becomes really easy, and also you get cool equipment. I think the actual solution is a little more complicated than that, because I'm remembering it like the boss of that thing reactivates its effects based on some of them being removed, right? Something like that. I don't know, in Final Fantasy IX you can hit the damage cap real early, so whatever. Oh, hey! A game I already have, World of Final Fantasy Maxima. Next month, physical version for Switch. Always buy Asian English, because you have no guarantees that the actual English edition will have any kind of physical release. Lan and Rain, you are good kids. Of course, there is no manual, because we're beyond such things. Let's go. Kingdom Hearts 3, 2019. The journey finally begins. Okay, so Murphy's Law being what it is, I opened up Vegas to discover that my original recordings for the first couple hours of the game up through the second world were corrupted. I had originally streamed and recorded this game simultaneously, and this was my first time streaming from PlayStation 4, which was an experience. Sony hardware does not like life. So I'm going back and re-recording these. This playthrough is going to be a mix of live commentary and stuff that I just came up with after the fact. I actually ordered an adapter for my PlayStation 4 to use my Nintendo Switch Pro controller on it ahead of time because I realized that A, I'm getting no sleep, and B, the DualShock 4 battery is not at all going to last this playthrough. And because my mind is bound to the Nintendo Switch in a certain way, I also had to rebind the keys, which means that I'm going to be negotiating with a newly rebound controller on a system that is telling me to press buttons that don't map to the buttons that are supposed to. This is going to be sleepy, sloppy, and also really fun. Okay, so I promise I will be editing these out after a point, but I do want to highlight that this game has Instagram as its loading screen. Instagram! Like, this is surprisingly topical. Everybody left Tumblr, they went over to Twitter, now they're leaving Twitter, they're all leaving Facebook, and they're migrating to Instagram. I'm hoping that somewhere there's like commentary on how Pinterest has ruined search results.
Have you heard of the ancient Keyblade War?
Huh? Of course I have.
Long ago, Keyblade wielders waged a war over the ownership of light.
Yeah, the Master's favorite story.
I wonder what they planned on doing with Kingdom Hearts after making it appear.
Who knows? I don't get why anyone would initiate a war.
So, you know the Lost Masters?
Who?
They're the ones who started the Keyblade War.
Never heard of them. Where'd you hear about that?
Or, they're the ones for whom the war started.
I'm not following you.
You can drop the facade.
Facade?
On that land shall darkness prevail and light expire. A prospective Keyblade master should know this.
If you say so.
The gazing eye sees the fate of the world. The future. It's already been written.
Really? I'm not so sure about that. Besides, who's to say I can't change it? And maybe light will prevail.
Pretty confident. But things aren't in your favor.
Perhaps, but unlike darkness, there's more to light than meets the eye. You might be surprised.
Oh, I hope so.
You can try to stop me, Sony, but I've got an Elgato. It doesn't work like that.
They can take your world. They can take your heart. Cut you loose from all you know. But if it's your fate, then every step forward will always be a step closer to home.
Right, so videos that show Tada's music uncut are at risk of being taken down right now, so I've got to kind of talk really quickly over all of this. After they released that last trailer before this game that had that quote in it, I ran a Twitter poll that just had two options. Sora will die, not die. And last that I checked, it was pretty evenly split between whether people thought that all of the messianic symbolism they've been pushing since Birth by Sleep was going to culminate in Sora kicking the bucket. And I have no idea how this is going to go, but I'm kind of scared to know the answer. This opening cutscene, along with a lot of the cutscenes in Kingdom Hearts 3, are pretty much geared to summarize the series and catch up newcomers on what's going on in the yarn ball of plot. And like Kingdom Hearts 2 did this as well, that its opening cutscene tried to summarize all the past games to catch people up. But Kingdom Hearts 2 only had 2 games to work with, and it still failed at summarizing both of them. I remember when 2 came out, and there were all of these posts on GameFAQs about, I don't understand this, who's this Naminé girl, what's going on in the plot, I thought I only had to play the first game, why doesn't Sora remember anything, why doesn't anybody remember Sora? And it was really irritating because, like, back then, the PlayStation Portable didn't exist yet, so everybody had a Game Boy Advance. You had no excuse for not getting Chain of Memories. Also, you missed out on a Jupiter game. Like, that might be the worst part of it. You missed the technical forerunner to The World Ends With You. Jupiter did both of those games, and the sprite work in Chain of Memories is very clearly their artists doing a practice run before they get to work on developing their first DS title. But I digress. My point is that it is very ill-advised to try to simultaneously have a game which is the grand finale in a 15 years plus franchise also be the entry point for newcomers. That's like trying to bring people into Harry Potter with the 7th book. And there was a woman standing in line with the rest of us after they had lined everybody up at GameStop to pick up their pre-orders. Shout out to Group 7. She was saying, wait, you mean that the Kingdom Hearts games aren't all self-contained? I've never played one before. This is my first. And like, I feel bad for her, but at the same time, I don't know that there's anything we can do for you at that point. These cutscenes certainly aren't going to make anything any clearer. Do you put a link to khwiki.com on the title screen? That might be the best worst option. I feel bad for the people that got it on Xbox too, because like they didn't get the HD remaster compilation that came out on PlayStation 4 right before this. It's as if it's only here to remind people that Kingdom Hearts isn't Sony exclusive. I mean, Xbox fans in Japan have to picket and protest and petition Microsoft to sell more Xbox Ones in the country because you can't find them on store shelves. They're clearly not doing that for the domestic market. Whatever qualms I may have with the lore hole of Kingdom Hearts, at the very least, this beginning has established that there are a focused set of motifs and themes to this game, which is more than I could say for like Kingdom Hearts 2. If you ask me what the central message of Kingdom Hearts 2 is, it's like, don't trust men that tell you you don't have a heart. But here we have light, darkness, destiny, the idea of things being preordained and what can be done in the face of predestination, which was also a theme of Kingdom Hearts Key back cover. For those of you coming from the future, one of the big things that was being talked about in the lead up to this game was what the heck is in the box that the Master of Masters gave to Luxu at the end of back cover. And for that matter, who is the Master of Masters? Which I don't think that Nomura really knew the answer to until he sat down to write this game. Like, he does this all the time. I don't think he planned for the unknown in Kingdom Hearts Final Mix to be Xemnas. He just created the character and eventually figured out who that character was around the time he got to the final boss fight of Kingdom Hearts 2. And we open with the best Sora design, staring straight at the worst Sora design. I'm not sorry, I can never warm to Shadow the Hedgehog Sora. This is like his Dark Eco Prince of Persia Two Thrones phase where every video game character has to be dark and grim, but it's Sora, so he still has clown shoes. The Kingdom Hearts kids, as a rule, are not cool, and any attempt to make them cool is gonna end up as overblown as Advent Children. And now we're Advent Children, Sora, ready to dilly-dally, shilly-shally all over the place. So we've got a really awesome boss fight, an ending we never asked any questions about that got answers in Final Chapter Prologue anyway, and a dog, a duck, and a baby. Definitely the boss fight. I've been wanting Dark Riku to be rematchable for years. Well, as much as I did love the Dark Riku fight, magic was the best thing ever in Kingdom Hearts 1, so for old time's sake, I gotta go full magic. Next up, we have an anime cutscene boss. Thank Naminé. Dream Eaters! We have to pick the Dream Eaters. Way back when Kingdom Hearts 1 first came out, my buddy and not-so-buddy chose staff and sword, and of course, because there were three of us, we couldn't all pick the same thing, which I'm sure Nomura would have loved that we were a trio. So I got forced into shield, which felt real bad at the time, but in the end, I got the last laugh because I got second chance before even going up against Stealth Sneak. The ability progression in Vanilla Kingdom Hearts is actually really different from Final Mix, and a lot of the complaints that people lobby against KH1 are specifically Final Mix things that they're only now experiencing because they're playing the remasters instead of the originals. I'm tempted to say that the ability progression in Vanilla Kingdom Hearts is actually better than Final Mix, because yeah, you get your abilities in a different order depending on whether you go sword, shield, or staff, but by the time you hit like the level 60 to 66 range where you're at End of the World, everybody has Vortex, Aerial Sweep, Scan, Guard, Combo Plus, Second Chance, MP Rage, and Counter, and you're generally getting all of your abilities just in time for the point where you would need them, like going up against Dark Riku. But then in Final Mix, they mess it all up so that like Second Chance comes at level 90 for staff, and some of the new abilities like Leaf Bracer are supposed to make up for that, but they don't quite do the same thing. And really, the big thing that Final Mix did to the abilities was add hurricane periods so that air combos and ground combos ended up adding up to the same numbers in the end if you fully executed all of them. I was kind of hoping that 1.5, or the story so far, would have been an opportunity to not only fix the ability progression, but also fix the colors on the Heartless, because Clown Guard Armor feels real bad, let me tell ya. Clown Guard Armor and Yellow Power Wilds, which like neither are canon, so it doesn't make sense at this point that we're even preserving Final Mix colors. Expect nothing I say about 3 to be anywhere near as analytical as 1, because it is the first 7 days. We know nothing about this game. I don't think it even has a strategy guide because Prima just went out of business. Oh, say hello to my good buddy Darkseid. Just like in the first game, he can actually kill you on Proud Mode. His moveset is pulled straight from Kingdom Hearts 1. You can try to attack the Ball of Darkness to prevent him from initiating that whole dark field effect thing, but because the hitbox of the orb is much bigger than it was in Kingdom Hearts 1, it's a whole lot more difficult to pull off. You'd be better advised to take advantage of the fact that thanks to Kingdom Hearts 3 game mechanics, you can basically just zip up to his head anytime you want, because the relative size difference between Sora and Darkseid is much smaller in this game. If you told child me that you would be able to just float up to Darkseid and hit his head in the future, I would probably have said that's terrible and takes all the challenge out of the game. Child Toya was not like a fun person to be around. His role models were Beatrix from Final Fantasy IX and Base.exe from the Mega Man NT Warrior manga. Oh, so this is a classic. Back in Kingdom Hearts 1, Darkseid had this laser attack that when you were fighting him, you didn't have the guard ability yet. You didn't have any abilities yet. So to repel the lasers back at him, you had to attack them with perfect timing so that you would repel them with your attack, send them back at him, and damage him. And every time you did this, you earned something called tech points, which were a mechanic that I'm pretty sure only existed in the first game. That basically they acted as additional experience points earned from performing an action. And you could actually use this to level grind at the Station of Awakening a bit, although obviously it was capped by how much damage he could take from his own lasers. In this one, though, tech points don't exist, and you start with guard from the beginning, so you have to guard instead of deflecting them with attacks, which throws me off a little. I could talk about Kingdom Hearts 1 forever, though. Like, there is a remarkable amount of depth to its game mechanics and hidden content in that game, and like, the stats lie to you. The attack numbers on your Keyblade don't mean anything. Being like the last Squaresoft title ever, Kingdom Hearts 1 came out of that whole Final Fantasy IX period where they're like, hey, we're gonna cram in a side quest that's not gonna be discovered for 13 years.
In order to defeat Xehanort, there are allies we must gather, acting now to rouse them from their slumber. We have discussed this before, Sora. Your Mark of Mastery exam was conducted in the hopes you would acquire the power to wake them. However, the darkness nearly took control of you, and your grasp of your new abilities leaves much to be desired. Furthermore, Xehanort nearly made you his vessel, and in the process stripped you of most of the power you had gained by then. I suspect you have already noticed this, correct? But first, you must regain all the strength you have lost. Perhaps it is foolish to expect a complete recovery, but it is absolutely vital you perfect one power, the power of waking, which you failed to master during your exam. There's someone who lost his strength and found it again. A true hero to whom you ought to pay a visit. Perhaps he can point you in the right direction.
Got it.
Master Alexander.
You can count on us to take care of Sora.
I would have it no other way. I put Sora in your hands.
And don't forget, we'll keep an eye on you.
Oh, this is gonna be lots of fun.
It's not a vacation. Let's go!
Count on us.
How are we supposed to get there now?
What? I thought you knew.
Looks like all the old highways are closed. Didn't Master Yen Sid say that Sora should trust the guidance his heart gives?
Come on, Sora. Which way? Hey, would you get serious?
Give me a break. I'm trying. These things take time.
Well, since we've already been before, why don't you try picturing our friends like we're there?
Well,
Sorry, I got nothing. What did you expect?
May your heart be your guiding key.
Huh? What's that?
Something Kingdom Hearts
Master
fans say
Yen Sid
right as a new
always
game
said
comes
that.
out.
Right
That
before
and
we went
see you
off
on the
our
other
really
side.
Important adventures.
Really? Ring a bell?
Maybe I just imagined it.
May my heart be my guiding key. I've got it! All right! Olympus Coliseum, here we come!
What? I did not come here for this, Nomura. You put that 2-point crap right back where you found it. Well, this has been Toya. Thank you for joining me today. If you liked what you saw, please consider liking and subscribing to support the channel. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Towoya, on Twitch at DecodeToya, and of course, right here at RPG Maniacs. Here we go, we're in this together. The real journey. Streaming Kingdom Hearts 3's update patch. What? I pay too much for internet for that to be a thing. Well, I don't, but other people do.